Welcome back to the Young Entrepreneurs Podcast. This is episode number 10. We're 2 more episodes away from breaking into season 2. And so I'm super excited because, like I said earlier, or the last podcast, a lot of good things coming for you guys. I think you guys are going to be more engaged and it's going to be a little bit more relatable. So stay tuned. Season 2 is coming pretty soon. We're 2 episodes away from season 2. So stay tuned. But today, what we're going to talk about is social media content. These last 3 episodes, this one, 11 and 12, are going to be really good information. So please make sure you tune in to especially the 11 and 12. And of course, you're already on episode 10 right now. But there's going to be a lot of key things to help you start a business or grow your business. But like I said, we're talking about social media content today. But why are we talking about social media? Because as you know, social media is so relevant in today's society. So we're going to talk about how to use it correctly. I know you guys have friends, even I have friends, and people are like, oh, I'm going to take a break for 2 weeks because I'm just fed up with social media. I just don't like it. You guys are just doing too much, blah, blah. But I believe sometimes that they're not using social media to its full capabilities. Of course, it's for you to use for your own personal use, your personal laugh, giggles, all that good stuff there. But it's also, if used correctly, it's also used to network, to learn, and even make you money. And so when you use it for those things, to network, learn, or make money, then you won't always feel like you need to take a break from it. And so I asked you, what is your social currency? That's what we're talking about, social currency. So let's talk about it. What is social currency? If you look it up, it's going to say social currency is your influence and your presence on social media. So it's basically the degree in which your business is shared by your customers. So it's you providing information that helps you define your brand or personal identity through those social media channels. So like Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, and whatever else is out there. As far as social media goes. And as you see, I said brand identity. So as you go into starting your business or even continue to run your business, you have to know what your brand identity is. And honestly, that comes with knowing your audience as well. Who are you marketing to? But back to social currency, there are 2 types of social currency. You have the social currency of individuals and then the social currency of brands. But today, of course, we're going to talk about the social currency of brands, aka your business. So, if someone that you know or even don't know positively shed light on your business with a retweet, repost, or even put the link in their bio, or even they post something and then tag your brand, when you post something on Instagram, you can tag somebody. That means they spend their social currency on you in your business. And of course, if their friends see it, they also like it, and that just furthers your social currency. But in order to achieve that, you have to make sure that people trust your brand. You have to make sure your brand is relatable. It's easy to share and it's also shareable. And when I say easy to share, I mean make sure your page isn't on private. And I also mean, when I say shareable, I mean make sure your content looks appeasing to the eye. It draws people in. It catches their attention. People want to post things that either they can relate to or that looks appealing. So, like for food, for example, people, we repost or we like the food that looks the most appeasing. It catches our eyes. It's nice. It's pretty. It's all of the above. So that's what I mean by shareable. And when I feel like when you master your social currency, then follows the brand loyalty. Because as we all know, there are thousands of hundreds of businesses that are going to be similar to your business. It's like walking down a bread aisle in a grocery store. There's an entire aisle for nothing but bread. An entire aisle. I don't know how many feet that is, but it's an entire aisle for bread. But you may buy one bread because it's all natural or maybe gluten-free, or the company may donate a percentage of their products to a nonprofit or a charity. So, I brought this, you're like, hey, I brought this bread because this does this, or it does that. And so that's what I mean by there may be thousands of brands that are similar to yours, but what makes yours different? That's the question that you have to ask yourself. So why do they keep coming back to your page? To buy your products or to buy your content, It's one of those 2 options. Why do they keep coming back to your page? So ask yourself that question. Why would person XYZ keep coming back to my page? Why would they even follow my page? Am I providing something useful? Are they learning something? Are they constantly engaged? Does it make them think or does it make them laugh? And I can honestly say that it takes time and really an honest conversation with yourself. And we talked about this earlier in the season, where we talked about having a conversation with yourself and truly knowing why you want to start the business that you're starting. Truly understanding why you're in that business. And like I said, when you can figure that out, figuring out what type of content to post on your social media page is going to be so easy, and it's going to be really a no-brainer. And honestly, it's going to take a while to get there. It took me years to finally get the whole social media thing down pat. I literally just caught along, I can say last month, really. It's like I've known what to do, but I didn't do it. I was always consumed by something else or doing something else. My focus wasn't there. And oftentimes we need to know, oftentimes we know what needs to be done. We just don't do it because we're probably not all in. And so I can say that when you start your business, make sure you're all in. There are going to be times when you first start and you're going to be all in. You're going to be, your energy is going to be on 1,000. But then it's going to dwindle down because, like I said all the time, like I said in the previous podcast, the support is not always there. You're not making, sometimes you won't make a sale every day, And so you have to be able to manage those highs and lows with running a business because you're going to have so many highs and lows. And you have to manage yourself and your emotions and always stay focused in a sense. And so be all in with your brand. That's how you grow and build a relatable, trustworthy, and most importantly, profitable business. That's how you do it. So like, for example, now if you go to the on Instagram and you look at the brand page, Young Entrepreneur's brand, it looks totally different from, a few weeks ago or even a week ago. I'll say a few weeks ago. From the bio description to the amount of times I post to even what I post. It all ties back to the mission of the brand. Excuse me. So like I said, my brand is here to provide you with both products and content to entrepreneurs or people thinking about entrepreneurship. So as a brand, it's my job, it's my job to post the products that we sell, like the people in our shirts. But more importantly, it's about posting the tweets that you may see that provide you with some sort of business perspective that'll help you grow. And then you even see clips of like Gary Vee or Damon John, for example, where they're talking about something that I believe is relevant to my followers. So I've done my research because there are other brands out there that are like mine, where they have a mission of entrepreneurship or something similar, highlighting a certain crowd, but they don't post a lot of useful content. They post pictures of people in their clothing, and they may post a few spotlights, but they don't post anything that will be a benefit to me as a follower, as a person, as a customer in a sense. So do your research. Make sure you do your research and know your competition and see what they're doing. Take some of the things that you like from them, use it. If you don't like it, you don't have to use it at all, but you know what you do like, what you don't like, and use it to your advantage. And I know y'all are probably thinking, man, you said all of this, but I'm still confused on what to post. Like I said, duplicate success. See what your competition is doing. It's that simple. And we're going to talk about duplicating success in the next episode, I think it is, or the one after that. I have a good story to tell you guys about duplicating success. But anyways, back to it. When people look at your social media accounts, they need to, every post they look at should be related to your business in a sense. So tailor to your audience. Know what they want and know what they don't want. And know what you can provide and what you're willing to provide. But never confuse them. Because oftentimes I'll follow people who have businesses and this their business page, quote unquote. But they then go on to rant about something that happened at a gas station that has nothing to do with their business. So it's like, hey, I'm not here for this. I'm here for solely this content. And I'm following you for this particular content. So I need you to provide me with that content. That's what your customers are thinking. That's what your followers are thinking. So like I said, use social media to your advantage. And even earlier, I talked about posting content daily. A few minutes ago, I talked about posting content daily. So if you have a business page, make sure that you're posting content daily. If not daily, at least every other day. I just talked about this on my personal Instagram page. And I made a video and people reacted to it very well. And so I want to talk about it here on this podcast. At first with the brand page, I started posting daily. A few weeks ago, I started posting daily, but now I post every other day. But you never want to go 4, 5, 6, 7 days without posting anything at all. As a brand, as a business, you always want to stay relevant, and you want people to always have your business or your brand on their mind. You always want them to be thinking about it, whether it be your products or your content. Now, they may not buy your product or content that day, but when you make that buy daily post, they'll remember, oh yeah, I want to buy this, or I want to look at this content on their page. I want to go to their website really quick. The goal is to keep them engaged. The goal is to keep your followers engaged. And so that's why you need to post every other day at least. But never, like I said, go 4, 5, 7 days a week without posting anything. Because it's easy to forget about a brand if you don't see them. If they don't post anything, even though you follow them, if they don't post it, you're not even thinking about them. Think about a brand or a business that you follow and they haven't posted in a week. And then they pop up and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about them. Why did you forget about them? Because they didn't post daily. They didn't post every other day. Or they, took a week off or a month off or something like that. And you totally forgot about them. Then it's going to be harder because then you have to build them back up again to that brand loyalty like I was talking about earlier. So like I said, the goal is to keep them engaged. When you post every other day, it's a reminder for them. And so with that being said, the top takeaways I want you to have from this podcast are these 5 things. Here we go. Number 1, use social media to your advantage. Don't let it drain you. Like I said earlier, we often see people, I need a break. It's just too much. Why is it too much? Because you're not following the right people. You're not following people that's going to help you learn, help you grow. They even help you laugh, Number 2, create social currency for your brand because it'll eventually lead to brand loyalty, and brand loyalty will lead to constant sales. You will turn your customers into consumers. Look the difference up. Look the difference up. There's a difference between customers and consumers. It's like, let's say, for Apple, Apple's, most times they have consumers because all of our products are Apple. I'm literally looking at right now, this iMac, Apple. My iPhone sitting right here, Apple. I have a, what is it called? The little TV thingy, the Apple TV. I have that. I have a laptop that's Apple. I'm a consumer of Apple, So that's what I mean by consumer versus customer. Number 3, though, post content to your page at least every other day. Never go 4, 5, 6, 7 days or even longer than that without posting. It's easy for someone to forget that you exist if you don't post on social media. Because like I said in the very beginning of this podcast, social media is very relevant in today's society. And so if you don't post something, with the blink of an eye, people have forgotten about you. And it's going to be hard to build that content up again, build that brand loyalty up if you just dropped off the face of the earth for a week or 2 weeks or a month. Number 4, remember the type of vibe you want your account to have. Is it going to be fun? Is it going to be colorful but resourceful? Is it going to be full of memes? Is it going to be something that makes people laugh? The list can go on and on. But know what type of vibe you want to display because it's going to attract those like-minded people. Your page should tell a story. So when I go into a page, for example, I went to this page and I ran across this page called Travel Nomadic or Nomadic Traveler. I forgot what it was. And then this person sells backpacks and beautiful backpacks. Let me look it up so I can actually plug them into here. Let me see. Give me 1 second. But I believe it's called like Nomadic Traveler or no, Traveler Nomadics on Instagram, and he had a beautiful page. The brand is about basically selling backpacks to people who like to travel. So he knows his target audience. His target audience is people who travel. If you don't travel, you're probably not going to want the bag that much because you don't travel. So he has a focus on people who travel. So everything on his page is about either the book bags or locations that you can travel to. It's different locations around the world that you can travel to and just pictures of, different places you can go to. And so, like I said, he knows his target audience. He knows what type of vibe he wants to display because he's going to attract people who want to travel. That's a great example of it. Definitely go look at that page because I learned a lot from that page. I woke up one Saturday morning and I follow his brother because his brother does some stuff about stocks. And so I found his page. And I'm like, oh, wow. When I saw that page, it actually clicked for me. I was like, okay, that makes sense. He sells backpacks, but his brand is solely for the purpose. It's solely for the purpose of people who like to travel, and so that's who he markets to. Therefore, his Instagram, what he posts on his Instagram page, is places that you can travel to. So, of course, if I love to travel, I'm going to follow that page because now I want to see different places in the world that I can go to, and then I'm also going to see the products that he sells because they're backpacks. And so, for me, that it clicked for me, and I use that same template that he uses, especially for his bio, to my own brand. And so that's what I mean by always learning. Don't be afraid to duplicate success. See what works. See what has worked for someone else. I saw that format worked for him, so I duplicated it. I use it for my business, and you can do the same thing. If you see something that you like, don't be afraid to use it. It's not like, oh, you're copying somebody. It's duplicating success. That's what it is. But anyways, last point here. Number 5. Why will people come to your page? What's going to make them click the follow button? What are you providing to them that's going to make them follow you that someone else probably doesn't provide or another business probably doesn't provide? How are you different from other businesses? That's a question to ask yourself. Why will people come to your page? And like I said, you guys, success is simply duplication. Study the GOAT. Study the people that are doing it. Study the people that you see are successful, especially even the people that look like you and they're successful. If they have a course, if they have a webinar, don't be afraid to spend that money to buy that webinar or that course. Like I said, our webinar is $10 right now. It's very, very reasonable. And it's something that's going to help you start your business, or even if you're just starting out, it's going to help you grow that business because now you know what type of template you need to follow. So make sure you check out that webinar. So like I said, study the GOATs. Don't be afraid to invest in things. Don't be afraid to, I always talk about invest in yourself. And so don't be afraid to invest in people who know things that you don't know. That's what it's all about. So like I said, you guys, success is simply duplication. Study the GOATs. And never be afraid to invest in people who know things that you don't know. It's not about you. Take the pride out the way and learn. That's going to be the only way that you grow, the only way that you're going to make money, if you can constantly learn all the time. I'm sitting right here right now and I have literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books in front of me on my desk right now. That's not even to count the books that I have in the living room on my book stand or whatever. And so like I said, always learn. Don't be afraid to buy a course from someone. And really, what we talked about today was social media content. Use social media to your advantage, you guys. So that's all I have for you all today. This has been episode number 10. I hope that you enjoyed this content. I actually enjoyed it because for me, it was a click. As soon as I understood, as soon as I saw that page, I was like, I got it. And so it's those little small triggers that if you're following somebody who's doing something great, they're motivating you, then you can use that to your advantage. So like I said, use social media to your advantage. Use it for the right purposes. Use it for the right reasons. So that's all I got for y'all. I'm going to wrap this up because I will keep rambling and on and on and on. Study the GOATs. Thank you for tuning in. Episode number 11 will be next Tuesday, and then episode number 12 the following Tuesday. And then we'll go into season 2. I'm excited for season 2, like I said. So stay tuned, especially stay tuned for 11 and 12. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.